Ladies and gentlemen, so today we have access to the early data mined abilities for Gladiator Hulk in Marvel Contest of Champions, courtesy of the data miner known as Otrix. So just want to start off the video by giving a massive shout out to Otrix, and if you want a link to this document, it will be in the description of this video. But today's video is all about Gladiator Hulk and the introduction of this character, who is speculated to be one of the new champions being released next month, along with the Black Panther villain known as Killmonger. And yeah, we've been waiting for Gladiator Hulk for quite a long time. There was a lot of, speculation that he was going to be released around the time of Thor Ragnarok release, but I think they're kind of, bringing it back and doing some sort of big MCU event next month that we really don't know too much about. And there's also this kind of new fighting level, which we're gonna have to see. I think it's like Serta's Throne or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of potentially exciting stuff coming next month. But anyway, to start talking about Gladiator Hulk, to summarize, kind of my perspective of this champion so far, he looks like he's either gonna be an amazing damage champion, or he's gonna be a pretty good defender, because I kind of get like this mishmash vibe of like original Hulk and Juggernaut with this champion, but he has some very interesting mechanics and playstyle. But I think a lot of the viability of this champion does depend on the values that he gains from various fury effects and his base attack, because he has a lot of stuff potentially kind of pumping out his damage. But as we've seen with Sentry, sometimes, if the values aren't right, it can make for a very bad champion. So, I guess where to start really with Hulk is he has this kind of new, like, crowd favorite mechanic, and you kind of need to get, this champion is all about the crowd hype, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of it kind of revolves around that, and I think that's a really good place to start. So let's talk about the crowd and how you get them hyped up. So I believe there's a scale of 100, and there are two ways to increase this scale, and the first one is each time either Hulk or his opponent lands a hit, it's going to go up a little bit. And the crowd is also a big fan of Special Flourish. So whenever Hulk or his opponent uses special attack, the crowd excitement increases further again. But if you are not playing aggressively, if there's not too much going on, the crowd starts to bore and the excitement starts to fall, and it falls faster, has a bit of a ongoing effect. So if you haven't done anything, it's just falling faster and faster, if that kind of makes sense there. So yeah, that's one of the mechanics, and a lot of his abilities kind of revolve around that mechanic. So Hulk is a champion of the people, and he gets worked up as the crowd does passively increase, increasing his attack up to a certain amount based on crowd excitement. And while the crowd excitement is at 100, the attack bonus will increase by a certain amount as well. And while crowd excitement is at 100, all of Hulk's attacks gain smash, and smash, it explains a little bit about the bottom, but I believe it's unstoppable and also an additional attack bonus. So yeah, there's a lot of, variance on how good this champion is going to be, relying on the amount of additional attack that is being funneled into him. So yeah, we're really going to have to see those values there. And also, when the crowd reaches 100, it works itself into a frenzy, and will lock the crowd excitement at 100 for a certain amount of seconds. Again, any of these bracketed values, if this is one of your first time watching the leaked or data mined ability review videos, these are values that are not set in stone or cannot be retrieved from the game files. So yeah, it's gonna lock at 100 for a certain amount of seconds and then reset to a certain amount, which I think is maybe going to be 50 or something like that. That would be my guess. But if the crowd excitement reaches 0, so if you're not playing aggressively enough, Hulk becomes enraged at the insult, and this will lock crowd excitement to 0, and Hulk's next attack will be unblockable, and then smash, and then crowd excitement resets to a certain amount. So if he has some pretty deadly special attacks, I don't know, this might be a really bad combo, and something to keep your eye out for there. So I'm very interested to see the potential of this champion as an Alliance War defender. And he also has an additional ability. Hulk becomes enraged while under the effects of a cowardly passive damage over time effect. While enraged, Hulk gains a chance the opponent will trigger a special attack. by a certain percentage. So I'd think of this kind of like Stark Spider-Man's Taunt, but only when Hulk is under a debuff. And I think this has very, very rare matchups, but the one that I can think of, if this champion is a science character, might be very good for fighting like Dormammu's in Alliance War. You might be able to bait out that special one significantly easier. So yeah, I don't know, it might have some sort of use there. And also he has some sort of regen in association to the amount of damage taken. I'm not too sure if that applies to like special attacks, but yeah, I'm interested to see how that regeneration functions. And if this attack smashes, it gains an additional 1 attack and increases the crowd excitement by a certain amount. So I'm not really too sure exactly what these two lines here are referring to. A little bit confusing, but every time Hulk attacks, he has a percentage chance to smash. Additionally, every certain amount of seconds, Hulk will gets angry and triggers a smash on his next attack. And as we mentioned, the kind of benefit that a smash provides is he will go unstoppable and gain a certain amount of attack. And I'm not too sure if that's, an unstoppable buff for a certain amount of seconds or just for the duration of whatever animation he is performing there. But yeah, could potentially make him quite a tricky defender. I'm just thinking in the scenario, if it's time-based, is he just going to be able to, go unstoppable and then hit you back? Is there going to be a timer for that, or will it be like a buff, like the next attack he tries to throw will be unstoppable? So yeah, I think there's some interesting stuff there that might make Gladiator Hulk quite an interesting defender. And then we go on to his special abilities. So we've got the special one, which is Shockwave. So it has a percentage chance to stun for a certain amount of seconds if the crowd excitement is less than a certain amount. So it looks like you can only get the special one stun off, if the crowd excitement, I assume, is fairly low there. But the special 2 is Whirlwind, which seems pretty cool. And this attack gains a certain amount of attack for each buff active on Hulk or his opponent, and has a percentage chance to stun for a certain amount of seconds if crowd excitement is greater than 1. So I feel like Whirlwind could have some pretty deadly combos. If the crowd excitement is going up, if that's giving you a Fury buff, this could make it hit like an absolute truck while simultaneously, stunning the opponent. So Whirlwind sounds very, very exciting. It looks like there's going to be a lot of damage on the special 2 there. And then finally we have the special 3, which I cannot wait to see the animation for this, because I feel like they're going to make it like exactly like it was in the Thor Ragnarok movie, and it's Hulk Smash. So a favorite of the crowd, Hulk uses his axe to throw his opponent to the ground before launching himself into a massive leaping smash. So I'm super, super excited to see the animation for that. I feel like it is going to look so incredibly pang. But the effect of that is crowd excitement goes up to a certain amount. If this attack smashes, it gains a certain amount of additional attack. So I imagine there's going to be some sort of insane combo when you're under smash and you use this. It's just going to deal a ridiculous amount of damage. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for the potential of that. But having a look at, Hulk's abilities so far, you can really, really tell like a lot of it does depend on the attack and damage values, because he doesn't seem to have an insane amount of utility apart from the stun potential on a special 1 and special 2. But we then do have his awakened ability, which is interesting. I kind of think about this one a little bit like Howard the Duck's awakened ability. So once per fight, when either Hulk or his opponent hits a certain percentage of health remaining, so I imagine this is only going to be like one trigger, maybe on like 50% or 20%, the crowd judges that fighter's performance. If they feel they fought well, they will give a thumbs up. If they feel they fought poorly, a thumbs down. Each judgment grants Hulk a passive effect. So I don't think there's any way, unless it's kind of related to the amount of crowd hype that you have at the moment, to kind of guarantee which effect you're going to have. But the thumbs up, you regenerate a certain amount of health on Hulk over a certain amount of seconds, so that might turn out to be very, very useful. But the thumbs down will will kind of enrage him and give him a bonus of attack for the rest of the fight. So yeah, a little bit of an interesting one there. I mean, both effects are very, very good, and in comparison to how the duck, how the duck is either a regeneration or a kind of temporary debuff on the opponent that deals some, I think it's like shock damage. So I think arguably this one is a little bit better because you get some, a solid amount of increased attack for the rest of the fight instead of a debuff. So that's better, but I kind of, stuff that doesn't really guarantee regeneration. I don't really think, one of the main uses of Gladiator Hulk, just from reading the bio, unless this regeneration is just so insane, is going to be the purpose of regeneration. I reckon this dude is just all about the damage, really. So I'm very, very interested to see some of the output damage potential on this champion. But again, in terms of utility, he doesn't really have a huge amount going for him. So I think Gladiator Hulk is kind of going to be in a similar pre-release situation to Sentry, where it's going to be all about his damage. It's all about the fury, all about the attack values. So yeah, I'm very, very interested to see, but I cannot wait to see what this champion's animations turn out to be, because I reckon he's going to be by far one of the most badass and fun champions to play. I mean, just look at those PNG images. He looks like an absolute brute, so I'm very, very excited for it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video going over some of the early data mined abilities for Gladiator Hulk, and it gave you a bit of a perspective into what the champion may be like. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Gladiator Hulk and exactly how good do you believe he's going to be. Are we going to see kind of a new, like, Stark Enhanced Spider-Man super damage champion, or is he going to be another Carnage or another Sentry? Please not that way. I really, really hope this champion is just beast mode badass. That's what I'm praying for, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.